Hello and welcome to a very special video. So, have you ever found yourself doing everything possible to prevent some mishap, to trying to make sure that every step of something you did was perfect, that it wouldn't result in any mishap occurring? Well, that's where I was with this stupid pot of Flesh Terror's red contrast. A paint bottle I had been given 5-ish years ago, I believe, from my sister-in-law, and one in which I had been exceedingly careful, up until the point where I had made this ridiculous contraption to keep the damn thing from falling over. It was almost a full bottle, and it was a full bottle in which I dumped all over myself in a defiant need to make myself look like Carrie from a certain motion picture, and then startle my entire family as they all thought I had spontaneously begun bleeding everywhere. It was, in retrospective, funny and humiliating and frustrating and all of those things. And the reason I bring it up and expose my own mishap is I wanted to say this. Lots of people have gotten themselves over their head in various situations and projects, and we've all found ourselves taking things just a little too serious and taken every setback as some kind of major event that has thrown it back because of our frustration, because of how much time and effort we had invested in it. So any setback felt like a personal insult. It felt like you were not getting where you wanted to be, and we over-focused on that. My focus being on trying to preserve a bottle and not make a mess of the whole thing, so much so that I had forgot where my elbow was and where the table was. And once they contacted each other, I then introduced the contrast paint to myself. Funny and amusing, but not so in the moment. When we deal with a lot of these projects, we're putting something in and of ourselves in them. And the important part is not to allow the mistakes to be the things that stop us. The things that stop us should be the learning experiences where we go, well, I have made mistakes. I have broken things. I have screwed up. But in so, I have managed to discover little techniques that work for me, little things that help the process go, things that maybe I like. For example, maybe spilling that shade on something made you suddenly go, that actually looks good. Maybe I should do that, as I shake the camera vigorously. Or maybe you break something and you realize that that's a really good technique for something you were trying to connect or create, like a piece of terrain, and that you could easily fix it. The problem is not so much that you make mistakes. The problem is that we hyper-focus on the mistakes. The problem is that we see all of the flaws and never any of the positives, the good elements of it, the things that we should. We need to, as anybody, step back from our moments of mistake and learn from them, but to see what we have accomplished and go, hey, look, I've messed up, but that doesn't mean that I have to let that be the thing that the entire project is judged by. I don't have to be my own jury, executioner, and hangman. I can actually notice what I've done well and what I haven't. I can discover ways that I want to put models together better, faster, paint things in certain ways. Maybe I find a way that simply gets the color and shade just right. Maybe I find some effect. The point I'm trying to make, and it does seem silly after, considering I'm a man that spilt an entire bottle of contrast on myself, is I don't want people to beat themselves up for minor mistakes. Life is full of mistakes, and you will continue making them. The elements of all of it really come down to we need to be able to appreciate and recognize where the goods were, where the successes were, what got us to the point at which we learned the things that we wanted to, when we got to a mastery that we wanted. Those are the things I think are best to focus on. To set ourselves small goals and to learn from those and recognize when those things that oppose us and those mistakes happen, that really it's part of being human. It's part of the process, and you are not perfect, and you should never want to be, because you'll never be as bored as the person who's perfect. So it's a bit of an odd video, but I just wanted to share that. So, in case there was anyone out there that had something silly like that, if you guys want, why don't you throw out a silly video of some mishap you had and what kind of may have turned out well from it or not, or just something fun you think is out there, some words of encouragement for people who might have been finding themselves in a position and are now unfairly judging themselves by that. But overall, I hope that I provide at least some degree of levity and some degree of use to you guys. And until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.